I'm gonna ask technician to, if you can please put on the screen the video prepared by the conservative leader, Mr. Poilievre. Thank you, and we'll be back, Adam and myself, to communicate some messages right after. So stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you to the Assembly of First Nations for the chance to address you today. As I travel to Indigenous communities across the country, the story I hear is always the same. Indigenous people are tired of a system that serves the ever-growing, ever more complex bureaucracy in Ottawa, a system that serves the politicians and bureaucrats in Ottawa rather than the grassroots First Nations people on the ground. I hear of First Nations leaders spending more time filling out paperwork for government departments than serving their own people. I hear of opportunities missed because government gatekeepers in Ottawa block construction from going ahead. I hear from young people who want the chance to work hard and earn a great paycheck, but find that again and again the government in Ottawa stands in the way. Enough. We need some common sense. That means putting First Nations back in charge of their money, their resources, their decisions, and their lives. That's what I will do. And that's why I've been working with leaders from across the country to develop ideas like a potential First Nations resource charge that would allow local First Nations governments to keep more of the resource revenues that come from their lands. Rather than sending it to Ottawa and then having to apply to get some of it back, why not leave it in the hands of the people whose land it was earned on in the first place? Why not make it possible for more young people to get jobs working in the trades with powerful, family-sustaining paychecks that will mean a brighter future into the decades and decades to come? Why not respect traditional hunting rights by getting rid of Trudeau's plan to ban hunting rifles? Hunting is not just a pastime. For many First Nations, it is a way of sustenance, and it has been for thousands of years. It is a violation of the constitutional rights of First Nations people to take away the tools of hunting that sustain these communities, and I will not allow it. I will protect your right to hunt. I will protect all Indigenous practices, and I will streamline the process for First Nations to get things built on their own lands, whether it's housing for their people or resource projects that can generate money for new clean drinking water, or keeping more money in the hands of the First Nations leaders themselves, because we know that you are far more competent, far more able, and have far more wisdom than the politicians and the bureaucrats in the nation's capital. Putting an end to the colonialist and patronizing past means taking power away from the gatekeepers in Ottawa and putting it back in the hands of the people who know best. You, the First Nations leaders on the ground, are the ones who know best. And you will have an ally in Prime Minister Pierre Poilievre standing with you. It's just common sense. So let's bring it home.
Thank you very much. And that was the video presentation with Pierre Poilievre, leader of the Conservative Party of Canada.